Good afternoon. Thanks for coming. Proud of our guys for taking care of business on Thursday night. It was good to get a midweek game, a midweek win, quality win. I think Idaho is a good football team. I think they're well coached on both sides of the ball, and it gets us to 7-2 overall, 4-1 in the conference. Hit each phase quickly. Special teams, thought it was a solid performance, maybe our best performance in special teams all year. Our punt team, again, allowed 0 punt return yardage. We're doing a good job in coverage. Our kickoff team was much improved from Georgia Southern. I thought Bratcher did a great job with his kickoffs. Our coverage, again, was much improved. Very effective field goal. Tyler continues to do a good job. We've done a good job in field goal protection as well. And we affected two of their field goal attempts. One of them we got a hand. The one they missed on the first drive of the game we got a hand on. Marcus Webb got a hand on that, and that was a big play in the game. Defensively, did not feel like we played our best. I think that's probably our least productive game that we've played all year. Defense has played well all year. Our statistics tell that story. They've kept us in every game. But we did not play our best. Way too many missed tackles. Didn't get off the field. I think they were 10 of 16 on third downs. We had 0 takeaways and didn't cover good enough. The positives are defensively, we had we held them 2.8 yards per carry. And I think if you stop the run, you always give yourself a chance. They were also 0 of 2 on fourth downs in the second half. So we got off the field on fourth down in our own territory, which was critical in the game. And then we had 6 sacks, and I can't speak to the importance of that enough. We had 6 sacks, and we talked about getting more pressure on the quarterback, and Hunter Reese, Seth Callaway, some of those guys, and we had a few other ones that were near misses that we've got to get down. We almost could have had double-digit sacks in that game if we could have got the quarterback down. But he's a really good player. Linehan's a really good player, and unfortunately he hurt his hand. So I want to make sure I make a point saying that. Got a lot of respect for how he plays and how he conducts himself and what type of player he is. Offensively, the negatives were the 2 turnovers. We had 2 turnovers in key situations. One of the interception going in to score, and then the fumble right after the sudden change. Both unfortunate. Both probably took points off the board. And we didn't protect the quarterback as well as we had been. I thought there was people around him a lot, and shouldn't have necessarily been the case. And we have to make more plays on the ball. You know, whether we're catching it in traffic, 50-50 balls, or we're making people miss in space. We've got to do a better job of just making plays offensively. The positives are we were really good on third and fourth down in the game. We averaged 5.1 yards per carry versus a team that had been good versus the run all year. And I thought the drive to open the second half was really critical. We got off the field defensively, and then it came out and we came down and scored and then got off the field immediately on defense, which I thought set the tone for the entire second half. Players of the week for this week, our special teams player of the week, and this kid has done a great job for us all years, Preston Langham. We've had good op times. We didn't protect our punter as well as we should have the other night, but we were able to get balls off because of really good op times. Offensively, could have given it to a number of people. We gave it to Damian Willis. He earned it. He had 3 receptions, 2 of them in critical plays. The last touchdown of the game, he set up with a big catch on a go ball. He's continued to get better. On defense, Tron Folsom, 16 tackles. You know, a guy from New Mexico State had a tremendous game too. I think he had 4 sacks in the game, so he got Sunbelt Defensive Player of the Week, and deservingly so. But Tron was right there. I mean, 16 tackles says a lot. The other guy, I thought that Hunter Reese played really well. He had 2.5 sacks in the game. Offensive lineman of the week was Tristan Crowder. He graded out at 91%. Best game he's played all year. Bounced back from a subpar performance against Georgia Southern. Our scout teams players of the week on special teams was Luke Whittemore, guy from Gainesville, who is going to be a really good player for us on offense and on special teams. Offense scout team player of the week was Ja'Cory Roper, who's a transfer from Garden City Community College. And on defense, Sean Darius Sprawlings, true freshman who's redshirting this year, who's got a bright future here. Those are our scout team players. Our Nathan Harris Service Award we give to the guy that does the best job in the community. This week was John Johnson. He's always homegrown, and he does a great job of getting out in the schools and doing things in the community here. And then last but not least, our Corey McCullough Spirit Award goes to the guy that does the best job with sideline energy. And I think our sidelines have done a great job in on Thursday night was no exception, and that goes to Carlton Marshall. So wrapping up Idaho, really good win. I think we've got to continue to get better. Felt like that we'd made a lot of strides in Georgia State and Georgia Southern. Felt like we were improving as a football team. Don't feel like we played our best versus Idaho. But I think signs of a good team is when you can win games and you don't play your best. So flipping the script over to Coastal Carolina now. I know a lot of you guys got to watch them as I did on Saturday afternoon. I was able to watch the television copy. I watched the second half and was really pulling for them. Been a big win for our conference in their near upset of Arkansas. And, you know, as I watched them on Friday and Saturday morning before they played, you know, I watched them, and even Vic and I talked early Saturday about the talent they had. And so wasn't overly surprised when I turned on the game and saw the second half and saw how they were playing. They've got a lot of guys that have won a bunch of games at the FCS level, you know, over the course of the last 3 years. You're talking about guys that won conference championships. They were the number one ranked team in the FCS for a period of time. And so those guys know how to win, and they've played hard. They've had a rough spell there in the middle of the year, but I know that contest on Saturday is going to give them a lot of confidence, and we're going to have to continue to get better and play our best to win there on the road. The interim coach is Jamie Chadwell. He's the head coach at Charleston Southern. Really did one of the more underrated coaching jobs in all of college football at Charleston Southern. Took over a program that had struggled and took them to new heights. And the year that they came in here and we were fortunate enough to beat them, I think they went all the way to the semifinals in the FCS, and really a good offensive coach. And his offense is multiple, a lot of different looks. They do a lot of things, spread you out, multiple option looks, some things that we have not seen so far this year. They're throwing it effectively. And the receivers watching that Arkansas game on Coach Copy and on ESPN, on our SEC network, they made a ton of plays in one-on-one situations against Arkansas's DBs. Both quarterbacks they played in that game played well. Their offensive line is young but athletic. And we know several of those kids from the recruiting trail, and they played extremely well against Arkansas. And the running back, Abercrombie, I think he's been beat up a little bit this year, but he's a hard-nosed runner, and he's starting to hit his stride. Defensively, their coordinator is Mickey Matthews, longtime head coach at James Madison. Young, and when I was early in my career and then as a player, was in the same conference with him when I was at UMass in Delaware when he was head coach of James Madison. He's won a ton of games, was with Jim Donnan at Marshall and at Georgia before that. Really good football coach, and he knows this league well. He did the TV broadcast for a couple years after getting out at James Madison, but he's got – that defensive side of the ball's got a ton of experience. I counted 9 guys that had started 10 games or more. So a lot of experience. They got a DN and Marcus Williamson, who's a long pass rusher type. Their Mike linebacker is Shane Johnson, who's made a lot of plays. He's a really good box defender. And they're starting to play with more confidence too. So in the kicking game, they've got a unique. Their kicker Rabin. He's a punts with his left foot and kicks with his right. So that's a first, and he does a really good job with both. So he must be really talented. But that's a neat fact. But he does a good job. So we're looking forward to getting on the road and going playing over in the teal turf. We played on the blue turf, didn't play so well. So hopefully we'll do a little better on the teal turf. So with that, questions.
With the emphasis the coaching staff has had every week of 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. Is there a temptation to present to the players after ULM beats Appalachian State that, hey, you guys are –
Nah, we're incapable of looking further than 1 week, Barry. You know, we've got to be locked in. You know, I don't even talk to them about the game, honestly, Barry. I talk to them about today's an off day, but tomorrow we're just worried about Tuesday's meetings and practice. We don't even look necessarily to the game. We're kind of a day-by-day operation right now, and I'm sure they saw it on social media and all that kind of stuff, or they may even watched it on their phones on the ESPN app. I don't know, but they're aware of it. But we won't spend any time discussing it.
Coach's defense is one of 4 in the entire nation to give up they hadn't given up more than 24 points in the game this year. How have you seen them progress just in your 3 years here? Yeah,
well, I think that was a neat fact that Adam found there on Saturday. And really, I think our defense staff has done a nice job. led by Vic. And we've done a good job making some recruiting decisions. I think our guys are playing hard. I think when you play hard, you have a chance. We've made a point to really focus on stopping the run, and then everything and stopping the run and getting pressure on the passer. So, and I don't think those are secrets by any means, but that's how we've gone from where we started when we got here in December of 2014 to where we're at right now. But we've played solid defense all year, but our performance on Saturday wasn't good enough. Or Thursday, excuse me. Habits.
A longer week to prepare. How does that kind of change the game plan?
Well, it really wasn't, because we were on that short week. So we gave the guys off on Friday and Saturday. Came back and practiced last night. So where they had some downtime, I thought it was important. You get this late in the season, the rest is as important as anything. So we gave them off Friday and Saturday after playing. I think we played 3 games in like 17 days. So we gave them a couple days off. So it's really going to be kind of a normal preparation week.
You spoke about him a little bit earlier on. I asked you about it at the beginning of the season. Some guys really starting to get some momentum going for him is Hunter Reese. What have you seen out of his performance the last couple of weeks?
He's solid. He's taking advantage of opportunities. If you think about it, he's playing. He played a lot, made some plays early, and then didn't necessarily play poorly, just wasn't making as many plays during the middle part of the season. And then last couple of weeks, especially on Thursday night, played extremely well. Got the quarterback down, made some nice plays, played his responsibility, which is critical on the defensive side of the ball. But just one of a hard worker, really proud for him for all the success he has. It's well earned.
That was Chone's first time going over 100 yards since the LSU game. This was around the time last year that you tried to see him get banged up a little bit, held him out for some. Now, how healthy is he moving forward for the remainder of the season?
Well, he really only played a half since the LSU game. He played the first half versus South Alabama. I think he got 1 carry in the second half versus South, and then he missed the rest of that half, and he was out against Georgia State and Georgia Southern. So that's his first opportunity. I thought he was a little rusty. I thought he played well. I don't think it was one of his better games. I think he had 4 or 5 runs that he probably misread. And it's hard. At running back, you really got to have live carries. It's hard to simulate that in a practice situation, especially where we try to take care of him. I think he's a lot more. He's healthier now, probably more rested now than he was last year at this time. I think there's a couple reasons why. We've got more help for him now. Josh is playing extremely high level. Jamarius is able to take some of that pressure off him. And it just so worked out when he got injured. He had about a 2.5 week window there where he didn't get a whole lot of work. So I look for him to really finish strong and play at a higher level than he did last year in the end of November.
You said you're starting out defensive-wise, stop the run and pressure the pass. Offensively, it looked like you really did at least want to establish the threat of that run the other night.
Yeah, we ran the ball pretty well. The story of our year offensively, if you look at it, we haven't had very many possessions, which I think is an odd year, and we've kind of shot ourselves in the foot some. With it, turnovers or penalties, and we did a little bit of that the other night too. When we actually, when we're doing what we're supposed to do, and we get an initial first down, we've done a nice job. We're making some plays downfield in the passing game. Our running game's been consistent all year. I think Brandon, his stats may not show it, but Brandon is playing better in the last month than he's played at any time during his career, and he's managing the game well. Even the South Alabama game, he was really accurate throwing the football, and he was really accurate throwing the football of the night. He had the one bad interception. He just never saw the guy, and that's going to happen some. But he's throwing the ball at a high level. I still think that, if you look at statistics, sometimes they're misleading. I think the one stat that really tells the story is yards per play, and I think that's offensively and defensively. Scoring defense is a critical stat, and then yards per play on offense and defense. And we're one of the better teams in the country in yards per play. We're not scoring at the rate we should, but I don't think we've hit our stride yet. And I see us practicing better. I see hints of us starting to play at a higher level within games, but we haven't just controlled a game from start to finish yet like I think we're capable of on offense.
this has happened more and more, so where it's not a coincidence anymore, but other programs, if they get any production from a walk-on, it's like found money. Blaze Brown was a walk-on. You mentioned Hunter Reese, those guys. It's more than a coincidence around here. Why have the walk-ons here historically been as productive as they have?
Well, I think it goes back to Coach Blaney, and Coach Blaney was really open to walk-on. The walk-on program had a lot of numbers. While he was the head coach here, we've tried to mirror that. Really been open. We do a couple tryouts each time. We have a really good relationship with the high school coaches, as did Coach Blaney. So you get a lot of referrals. And then we've given guys opportunities. We're not necessarily looking at a scholarship, non-scholarship. We're looking at the guys that can help us the most. And when guys show that they have the opportunity to help us, then we give them opportunities. And I believe, Coach Blaney can answer for himself, but I believe that's what kind of his thought process was as well. We're proud of that, though, Barry. We got a whole wall down in our building that's dedicated to just walk-ons that came here and earned scholarships, and several of those guys were drafted, and so that's something we take a lot of pride in.
You've had kind of these sayings on the monitors downstairs.
Yeah, I didn't know y'all got in. I didn't know y'all could see those.
Pictures on social media. What is this week's kind of motto?
Just play. We just gotta play. And what I mean by that is, I think it's you get late in the season, and I want our guys to play. I want them to enjoy the process. I want them to make plays, not worry about consequences. Just go play. So that's it. It's 1-0 play, and we'll drive that home this week.
And does that kind of revolve around everybody hearing about Sun Belt? Hopefully, if you win out, you can raise that trophy and everything. Yeah, I think what we've not handled success very well. So now we're in the midst of a 3-game winning streak, and it's just we've got to be locked in on this week. What happens down the road, hey, we got a little control of it. You know what I'm saying? So all we can control is our preparation, from our body and our mind this week, all the way till Saturday afternoon. We can control that, and so that's kind of what we're focused on. And after this one, we'll worry about getting better during our bye week. All right, thank you.